It's time. All right, with some gusto there. We're going to go ahead and get this meeting started. Welcome everyone to the Cortez City Council. This is the regular meeting. Today is Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. The time is 7:30. We'll call this meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, thank you. Linda, can we please start the roll call?
Kiefhofer.
Here.
DeHaven.
Here.
Spruill.
Here.
Rainey.
Here.
Dobry.
Here.
Yazzie.
Here.
Medina. Thank you.
All right, and just a reminder, I will be the chair for this meeting today, as Mayor Medina is out attending a water conference this week, so we wish her a good time and a lot of learning. Can I have, so we'll go ahead and do the approval of the agenda. Is there any item, or can we get a motion to approve the agenda?
I move that council approve the agenda for October 24th, 2023.
Second.
DeHaven made the motion and Councilmember
Sorry,
Dobry.
yes.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Councilmember
Gotta remember
Dobry,
that.
second. DeHaven.
Aye.
Rainey.
Aye.
Dobry.
Aye.
Kiefhofer.
Aye.
Spruill.
Yes.
Yazzie.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Number 2 on the agenda is the consent agenda. The listing under consent agenda is a group of items to be acted on with a single motion and vote. This agenda is designed to expedite the handling of limited routine matters by City Council. Either the public or council member may request that an item be removed from the consent agenda at that time, prior to council's vote. The items under the consent agenda are: A, approval of the council work session and agenda meetings for October 10th, 2023. B, approval of the expenditure list for October 24th, 2023. And C, approval of a transfer of ownership application for Four Corners Brewing, LLC, DBA Main Street Brewing and Restaurant located at 21 East Main Street, Cortez. Does any citizen or council member wish to remove any item on the consent agenda for discussion?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I move that council approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Dobry, second by Kiefhofer.
Kiefhofer.
Aye.
Dobry.
Aye.
Spruill.
Yes.
DeHaven.
Aye.
Rainey.
Aye.
Yazzie.
Aye. Thank you. Item number 3 on the agenda is public participation. There is no limit to the number of speakers, although public comments will be held to an overall time limit of 30 minutes. Speakers have a time limit of 3 minutes per person, may only speak once, and may not cede time to another commenter. And we're checking to see if there are any comment cards. And there are none. So moving on, we will move on to 4 presentations. Item 4A is Greenlight a Vet Proclamation. And there's no introduction of it, I'll just go ahead and read. Okay, so I'll go ahead and read this proclamation. Proclamation in recognition of Greenlight a Vet. Whereas green is a color of hope, renewal, and well-being, and whereas green light is also a term commonly used to activate forward movement, and whereas the simple action of changing one light to green is intended to spark a national conversation regarding the recognition of veterans and greenlight them forward as valued members of our communities. And whereas America's veterans are some of our nation's bravest, hardest working men and women, and whereas it is hard to show our veterans the appreciation they deserve when back home and out of uniform, they are more camouflaged than ever. Let us honor our veterans for an entire month rather than Veterans Day alone by changing one light to green in a visible location, on your porch, your home, or at your office, and keep it glowing every day during the month of November as a symbol of appreciation and support for our veterans. Now, therefore, I, Arlena Yazzie, Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Cortez, do hereby proclaim November of each year to be the month for the residents of Cortez to unite to Greenlight event. Witness my hand this 24th day of October 2023. Okay. Number 5 on the agenda is public hearings. And first up, we have A, Resolution Number 24, Series 2023. Resolution, sorry, I read the whole section there. Yes, okay. Resolution Number 24, Series 2023, a resolution approving an application for a site plan for a 3,456 square foot office building to be located on a property at TBD North Sligo Street, estimated to be 60 and 72 North Sligo Street, Cortez, presented by contract city planner Nancy Dosdall. Nancy?
Good evening. I'm waiting for it to come up, but our first project tonight is a proposed two-story office building to be located, there's no address yet, but approximately 72 North Sligo. The happens to me every time, doesn't it? There we go. It's 5,800 square foot, or 3,456 square foot office building located on North Sligo. It's zoned commercial highway, and currently the parcels are vacant. It will, let's go show you where it is. So vicinity map, get it on there. Not getting it on there. The property is currently configured in 3 lots. They will need to be consolidated to affect the construction. The area is mostly commercial. A little bit to the north there are some multifamily zoned parcels, R2. So we got Main Street down here. Just to show you a little bit of a close-up, currently vacant, a little bit of fencing of some type on one of the parcels. And then just a street view look. It's a sloped up property a little bit, currently surrounded by commercial, currently vacant. The applicant is 2474 Patterson Road, LLC. They'd like to construct the 2-story office building in approximately the center of the property, right in here. Got some renderings for you so you can see what it is proposed to look like. As far as criteria, with a site plan use, it's allowed or permitted use in the zone, the commercial highway zone. We're really just looking at layout, parking, landscaping, drainage, etc. As far as whether or not it meets the land use code. Going through all the criteria, setbacks, floor area, height, parking, etc. It does meet or exceed all the criteria. Just to note, they are right on with the landscaping. This project was continued from your meeting a month ago, and one of the issues that they addressed at that time was landscaping. They hadn't quite met the minimum. They did provide a little bit additional landscaping in this layout to address that concern of not meeting the 10% landscaped area. The other two issues that we talked about this a little bit at the Planning Commission level. A lot of their landscaping along here is actually what they're calling decomposed granite. So it's going to look a little bit like gravel. The Planning Commission did feel like it still met the criteria. Plus, they added a little bit more to address the concerns from staff. Planning Commission felt like it was good as far as xeriscaping and not wasting water on landscaping. It did, however, pair a little bit with some drainage issues from our engineering department that, along with sidewalk, were the two other issues that they have addressed since your last meeting. So they're working with Kevin Kistler on providing enough infiltration on the site so it doesn't just all run off into the city streets there. I believe they are close, or we have a condition that they will be required to meet those requirements. They added in a sidewalk along the western property line there. It will be adjacent to a retaining wall. Planning Commission and staff both have reviewed it and are recommending approval. We have sort of our normal set of conditions that they meet all requirements of all utility providers and city departments, that the city engineer review the appropriate construction drawings, that the drainage report meet all CDPHE requirements. I left the landscaping condition in there that they meet minimum code standards. That's straight from our code, so it's pretty standard. And then the final condition is that they consolidate the 3 lots prior to building permit. Any questions?
First, I just want to say that I really appreciate infill, and I think that that lot in particular makes a whole lot of sense for a building like that there. So do you know any more details about how specifically, I think the drainage issue would be like on the west side of that property, right? Like it's pretty flat for a good chunk and then becomes a little steep towards a drainage between.
So, I think if you recall from this photo, so it raises straight up, kind of. This is taken from Sligo. It's a street view, and you can see the hill there.
Yeah.
When we go down to the drainage plan, there is, I believe, a 12% slope on that driveway. Kevin was asking for a lot more infiltration. A lot of the landscaping is weed barrier with the gravel, and he's asking for more infiltration. They're working with him on some of that. They also, one of their solutions was to groove the pavement to slow down the drainage off the parking lot and into the property. I think you can see it onto the street. I think you can see right here is where they have their drainage feature and the slow down effect there, and a little bit of detention in this corner here. And then on the driveway is also where they groove the pavement to help address it pouring down with gravel and dirt washing into Sligo.
So there wouldn't be an issue with a lot of runoff from the parking lot into that drainage that's in that kind of northwest corner?
Kevin's still working with
Still
them,
working,
I
okay.
believe, but they did a better job with this proposal.
Cattails.
Any other council discussion? Okay, we're gonna take a minute to open it up to the audience if they want to make a comment on this.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I don't know that a representative of the applicant is here, but I would certainly offer them the opportunity to speak as well.
Okay. Do they happen to be?
We got a last-minute email that they weren't able to make the meeting. So they do know, they've reviewed the conditions, they know it's on tonight, but they couldn't get here.
Okay. All right. Seeing no comments, can I get a motion?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion that council approve resolution number 24, series 2023, approving the site development plan for a new office building on the property located at TBD North Sligo, Cortez, Colorado, in the commercial highway C zone with the 5 conditions that were listed in the resolution.
Second.
Motion by Kiefhoffer, second by Sproul.
Dobry,
Aye.
Kiefhoffer,
Aye.
DeHaven,
Aye.
Rainey,
Aye.
Sproul,
Yes.
Yazzie.
Aye. Okay. The next item we have coming up is item number 5B. It is resolution number 26, series 2023. Resolution number 26, series 2023, a resolution approving an application for site plan conditional use permit for a proposed storage facility to be located at 459 West North Street, Cortez, Colorado. And this is being presented by contract city planner Nancy Dosdall.
Thank you. This request is also in the commercial highway zone. In this case, it is a proposed storage facility, both indoor conditioned storage and outdoor pole barn type storage for large vehicles, campers, etc. It's proposed by SN Warehouse LLC, who own the property. To locate it for you, it's in this odd little triangle located between Pinion Drive, Broadway, and Main Street of commercial property. It is surrounded on all sides by commercial uses. Show you, there is an existing structure on one of the lots. We're again on 2 lots. One's vacant, one's the existing structure that's been there for years. You can see it here in the street view. It is a vacant warehouse type structure that is somewhat in need of repair. The applicants are hoping to renovate that existing building into climate-controlled indoor storage with a small office, meeting room, kitchen for employees. That second structure is the covered outdoor storage for large recreational vehicles, boats, etc. So this is the existing building. Get it so I can't see it. This is the existing building. They're going to update it a little bit, add on a little bit to the front, and then this is the more storage, outdoor storage building on the second lot. I got a little bit of a rendering there so you can see what it'll look like. Just extra note, so storage facilities are a conditional use in the highway commercial zone. The criteria for a site plan, I think we just went over, are do they have adequate parking, layout, setbacks, etc. Conditional use permit criteria are a little different. They're more looking at impacts on neighbors, traffic circulation, etc. Little bit unusual in that a storage facility is probably one that bothers neighbors maybe the least, and generates about the least amount of traffic in and out as far as any other commercial use or permitted use in the zone. As far as standards, the site plan as proposed meets all standards. We are, I won't stay there. We are once again, given the site constraints and existing site, they're exactly just a tiny bit over on the landscaping requirement. I did ask them to see if they could concentrate on the frontage. and improving that, and they did comply with that pretty well. With that, Planning Commission and staff are recommending approval of the conditional use permit and site plan. We have 4 recommended conditions of approval. Again, they're all pretty standard as far as meeting all requirements. Again, a drainage report is being required by our city engineer. And then the final one is, again, that they consolidate those 2 lots prior to issuance of building permit. Are there any questions?
So that rendering slide that you showed, am I to believe there, that one, that the large vehicle storage area, is that covered? Am I seeing that it's covered and has walls?
Yes, it is covered
Okay,
and
so
3-sided, so,
3 sides, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Any other council discussion? Okay, again, we'll open it up if the applicant is here, or to any other comments. Okay, seeing none, can I get a motion?
I move that council approve resolution number 26, series 2023, approving a conditional use permit site development plan for the proposed storage facility on property located at 459 Northwest Street, Cortez, Colorado, with 4 conditions listed in the resolution.
Second.
Motion by Rainey, second by Spruill.
Rainey,
Aye.
Spruill,
Yes.
DeHaven,
Aye.
Kiefhoffer,
Aye.
Dobry,
Aye.
Yazzie.
Aye. Thank you. All right, number 6 on our agenda, unfinished business. There is no unfinished business. Number 7, new business. 7A is resolution number 27, series 2023. Resolution number 27, series 2023, lease agreement for the Colorado Welcome Center by and between the City of Cortez and Mesa Verde Country Visitor Information Bureau, with presenter Drew Sanders, City Manager.
Yeah, good evening, Council. Before you is a lease agreement for, between the City of Cortez and Mesa Verde Country Visitor Information Bureau for the Colorado Welcome Center, which is the building they occupy and also manage and take care of for us. Now, Council, this was supposed to have been signed earlier this year. It's an oversight that for some reason we didn't get that done. It was caught, and so we're before you now to get that done. Both organizations have been operating as if it were signed. So just in full disclosure, we're a little late on this. It does renew on January 1 for another 1-year term, but this not only tightens up the original lease we had with them, but it also is charging them more of a market rate for that leased property. So I submit that to you for your consideration and recommend its passage.
Any discussion? All right, can I have a motion?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I move that council approve resolution number 27, series 2023, approving a lease of real property by the City of Cortez to Mesa Verde Country Visitor Information Bureau.
Second.
Motion by Dobry, second by DeHaven.
Kiefhoffer, Rainey,
Aye.
DeHaven,
Aye.
Dobry,
Aye.
Spruill,
Yes.
Yazzie.
Aye. Okay,
Thank you, Council.
thank you. Item 7B on the agenda, vehicle purchase for the refuse division. Approval of the purchase of a new pickup to replace the refuse division's aging 1994 welding truck unit number 1223, with presenter Colby Early joining us.
Good evening, Council. Refuse Division is ready for a light, medium-duty, 3/4-ton truck acquisition. We have a real need to push out the old 29-year-old welding truck and replace it, further optimizing the fleet and meeting our needs. Included in your packet is the equipment condition addendum performed by Rick Smith's staff, Darren Howard, shop supervisor. Went through the old welding truck, listed defects including steering box, brake in the vacuum booster, front end issues, brake issues, rear main seal leak due to the overall age. Parts availability is also an issue. It's just time for it to go. Refuse Division requested quotes on new replacement 3/4-ton trucks for a budget of around $60K. Quotes were received from Kazee Motor Company, True West Auto, Webb Chevrolet, and Moorhart Chevrolet. Taking into consideration the availability, uniformity to the fleet, staff recommends option 1, which also happens to be the lowest cost option, the 2023 F-250 for a total of $54,584 from Kazee Motor Company. As far as fiscal impact goes, this purchase will be covered by funds in refuse capital outlay. Since refuse is an enterprise fund, the purchase will not affect the general fund. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, are there any additional costs to upfit the vehicle for the purpose?
There will be some additional cost to upfit. There will be a flatbed that we'll need to purchase. That's something that we can work with as far as operational budgets are concerned. But yeah, there will be a little bit of upfitting cost.
Well, you answered the second part of the question. I just wanted to make sure that there was budget for the upfit. So thank you.
Yes. Any additional questions?
Any other questions, council? All right. Can I have a motion?
I move that council approve the acquisition of a Ford F-250 pickup truck from Kazee Motor Company for the Refuse Division in the amount of $54,584.
Second.
Motion by DeHaven, second by Kiefhoffer.
Dobry,
Aye.
Kiefhoffer,
Aye.
Spruill,
Yes.
Rainey,
Aye.
DeHaven,
Aye.
Yazzie.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, council.
All right, item 7C, letter of support. This is a letter of support for Montezuma County Community Wildfire Defense Grants presented by Drew Sanders, City Manager.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, before you continue, I need to recuse myself from this because I am writing that grant for the county, so I will step out.
Okay, thank you. We'll wait a minute for him to step out.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. We were approached by Montezuma County with a request for a letter of support for, in support of the USDA Community Wildfire Defense Grant, which is something that's really important to our local community as well as our local Indian tribes, and is also for planning and mitigation of the risk created by wildfire, which we struggle with on our surrounding area. This seems to be something that's very appropriate for us to support, and so we prepared a letter that we're requesting council approval for me to sign and deliver to them.
Do you have any idea if any of the Indian tribes have also requested, or is it just part of the county's request?
You know, that would be part of the county's request. Ours is, the request was solely for us, so I really don't have any information about who else they've approached or and is involved. So.
And I guess what I'm getting at, if the Indian tribe was to request us to write a letter for them too, I'm absolutely for that, and I think that we need to, our Indian tribes next to us really want to work with us on grants, and I think this would be
Yes.
A good letter of support for them and us.
Thank you for that, council member. And if we are approached with that, absolutely, we will get that in front of you all.
Any other council comments, questions? All right, can I get a motion, please?
I move the council authorize the city manager to sign the letter of support for the Community Wildlife Defense Grant submitted by Montezuma County.
Second.
Motion by Rainey, second by Spruill.
Spruill,
Yes.
Rainey,
Aye.
Kiefhoffer,
Aye.
DeHaven,
Aye.
Yazzie.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, council.
All right. Can somebody motion to, okay. All right. We are going to move on to item 7D, approval of the 2024 budget on first reading. Ordinance number 1323, Series 2023, approval on first reading of ordinance number 1323, Series 2023, and ordinance summarizing expenditures and revenues for each fund and adopting a budget for the city of Cortez, Colorado for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 2024 and ending on the last day of December 2024, and set for second reading and public hearing on November 14th, 2023. And we have presenter Kelly Koski, our finance director, to tell us about this.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem Yazzie and council members. In your packet is ordinance number 1323, series number 2023, which you so elegantly described. The fiscal impact of the 24 budget, the overall budget is approximately $35 million, and that represents all projected revenue for the general fund, the enterprise funds, and capital projects. The annual budget and approved appropriations are an important and required part of our fiscal cycle. It is used as a guiding document for each department throughout the city, throughout the year. Our process begins with ClearGov, where the 24 budget for each department are reviewed by all directors and supervisors. Then those are submitted to the finance department. Once they've been submitted to the finance department, then city manager and the finance director meet with each director individually. From there, the proposed budget was also reviewed by council and the mayor. Also, through our ClearGov Transparency Center, there was a button on the City of Cortez webpage that was named the 2024 proposed budget. It was also, that link was also released through all appropriate media outlets and social media contacts for public comment. To date, there have been no public comments that have been received. Staff recommends that the council approve on first reading ordinance number 1323, Series 2023, summarizing expenditures and revenues for each fund and adopting the budget for the city of Cortez beginning on the first day of January 2024, ending on the last day of December 2024. Does anybody have any questions?
Doesn't seem that we have any questions. I just want to make a comment for the public, just to remind them that the comment section on the ClearGov webpage is still open and comments are still being received. That website can be found through our city website. I don't know how else to describe it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's actually on the very front page of the city webpage. It's towards the top left-hand side.
Okay.
And I'd also like to just thank all of you, council, for all of your hard work through this process. It is a large undertaking and probably one of the largest projects that we take on every year. And your consideration and your guidance in this process is so helpful and so welcomed. Thank you so much for your time, too.
Thank you, Kelly, and I think the feeling is mutual. You've all worked very hard with the budget to bring it to us, so. All right, council, can I please have a motion?
I move that council approve on first reading ordinance number 1323, series 2023, an ordinance summarizing expenditures and revenues for each fund and adopting a budget for the city of Cortez, Colorado for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 2024 and ending on the last day of December 2024, and set for a second reading and public hearing on November 14th, 2023.
Second.
Motion by DeHaven, second by Spruill.
Dobry,
Aye.
Kiefhoffer,
Aye.
DeHaven,
Aye.
Spruill,
Yes.
Rainey,
Aye.
Yazzie.
Aye. Thank you. Next on the agenda is item number 8, draft resolution / ordinances. There are none. Number 9, city attorney's report.
No report, Madam Mayor Pro Tem.
Number 10, city manager's report.
Good evening, Madam Mayor Pro Tem and Council. The following my report for the current term. The Cortez Public Works hosted another successful cleanup week, October 9th through the 13th, 2023. Over 24 tons of debris was collected along with 46 mattresses. This fall, the city started charging $17 per mattress to cover the disposal cost incurred by the city. Number 2, the Four Corners Fly-In was held on October 14th, 2023. Several of you were there. And this was held in conjunction with the annular solar eclipse. This was a huge success with an estimated 1,600 visitors to the Cortez Airport for the activities. This was an increase over visitation from last year of about 900. Number 3, the city has assembled a team, including Mayor Medina, to attend the Colorado Growing Water Smart Workshop in Grand Junction, Colorado, which is occurring now. The workshop is hosted by the Babbitt Center for Land and Water Policy and the Sonoran Institute. These workshops are held across the state to help leaders integrate water and land use planning to further the sustainability and resilience of their communities. Their actions will help attain goals of the Colorado's water plan to close the annual supply gap and have 75% of Colorado residents living in communities that have incorporated water savings actions into land use planning. The hosts will provide all necessary lodging and most meals during the workshop. And lastly, the neighborhood update for the 7th Street Park or the former high school site will be held this next Monday at 5:30 p.m., which is October 30th, on the location. The city PIO, Ms. Kelly Codner, will send out information, and I believe she's already done some of that and put it on the city website and social media. So we encourage any and all who are interested in that to attend. Also, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I have an employee spotlight, if that's would be agreeable to read.
Yes, please.
This evening, I would like to highlight our Rachel Marchbanks, who joined the City of Cortez in January of 2022 as a highly sought-after employee for the city. When she joined our organization, she was hired to lead the newly formed Community and Economic Development Department and was tasked with various roles, including the planning function. Starting a new department was a daunting task by all measures, and she did an excellent job of creating what is now a high-functioning department. Rachel came to the table with a significant amount of education and experience, including service as a public administrator and an elected official, in addition to a master's degree in public policy and administration and political science. During her time in Cortez, she has earned my trust and the admiration for her leadership skills and work ethic. Additionally, I rely upon Rachel to provide me with a perspective on various matters and even guidance at times. We have a strong leadership team here in Cortez, and Rachel contributes regularly towards team successes. One of the most daunting roles of local government is the land use planning function, which has generated increased attention in recent weeks and months. In many ways, the land use planning function is essentially attempting to fit a square peg into a round hole, and rarely do land use applications fit perfectly within the code, which then requires application of experience, reason, and judgment on our part. To add to this, there are pressures of attempting to work within a land use code that has been amended on a piecemeal basis over many years, which leads to unique challenges for planners, which we are diligently working to replace at this time, as well as significant neighborhood interests that are often at odds with one another. To say the land use planning function is under a microscope is an understatement. Ultimately, the planning function is caught between pressures emanating from land use applicants as well as opposing interests, some more than others, and often no way to please everyone with outcomes. To manage all this requires a team, and there are many hours and hands, mine included, involved in decision-making and working to arrive at the right outcomes, utilizing a very structured process as outlined in our governing documents. As part of our roles as public administrators, we understand that criticisms will come our way. This is part of our accountability to the community. We accept that others may disagree with decisions and outcomes at times, and we do the best we can within the established framework. However, personal attacks on individuals and their reputations based upon speculation or conspiracy theories without actual evidence or proof of malfeasance in their handling of exceptionally challenging issues is very difficult to accept and falls beneath our community values. Even so, at the City of Cortez, criticism of one is criticism of all. I am very proud to be numbered as a co-worker with someone with as much skill, integrity, and character as Director Rachel Marchbanks, and I publicly thank her for her service to our community. In my opinion, we are very lucky as a community to have her on our side. Thank you. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you, Rachel, for all the hard work that you've done to build up a whole department, and especially coming into such huge tasks that we put on you the very first council workshop that we had you in. So thanks for navigating all of those complexities and being especially very intentional in bringing back up the land use code update process, considering the challenges and concerns of the last time that happened. I think that you've done just a wonderful job to try to bring that forward in a way that's meaningful and tries to bring in a variety of perspectives. So thank you. Okay. Item number 11, City Council Committee Reports. 11A is Mayor's Report on the Workshop. We had Judge Padilla join us for the workshop and provide an update on the municipal court. She gave us an update on Outreach Court, which is really taking off in the last couple of months, and it was really great to hear about the progress that's being made there. I think as a council, I think we're all very excited to see how this is progressing. And as well as just we were able to hear about how well WebEx is doing in the courts, and just also heard about how busy it is there as well. So we just thank you for your efforts in the municipal court, and we're glad to hear about the progress, all of the great progress that's happening there. Let's see. So then next on the agenda we have other board reports. So we'll go ahead and start from Rob, your side. No report? Okay.
Parks and Recreation Advisory Board had a meeting last Friday, and I was not in attendance. I was visiting my parents in Minnesota. But just so everybody knows some of the things that were talked about, the South Pocket Park Playground updates. Talked a little bit about the budget, and the group toured the park system, which is kind of ongoing. I think we've probably got another couple of places to visit in the parks. They asked for feedback on some fee adjustments for the coming year, and talked about changing the meeting day and time as well.
I was able to attend the library board meeting where we finished reviewing Isabella's 5-year plan for the library. She's going to incorporate some of our comments with that and then send it back out to the board for approval. And we're hoping to get that plan out to the public and on the website starting the beginning of next year. And that will be reviewed biannually by the board and Isabella and shaped to sort of fit what the public needs, because one of the first things on it is to get more public input about our library system. And we also talked about potentially bringing in some speakers and partnering with Lore for funding for that.
No report.
Okay. I don't have any board reports, but I just wanted to commend Director Jeremy Patton for a wonderful fall fly-in. It's the first time that I've gotten to attend, and I pulled my spouse along with me, and he really enjoyed it as well. And it's just so interesting to see how just how excited everybody was to be there and to have it paired with kind of a unique solar event, and I just can't wait to see how it transpires in the future. So thanks for all the hard work that you put into it, and whoever else was able to be a part of that. And I just want to say that I'm very proud of our leadership in the city. I think that you all are amazing, and I can't tell you how many times I tell other people that I'm just really proud of all of the work that you all do and continue to do, and the path that you are paving forward in your various departments. So thank you all. Just wanted to say that because there's a lot of things to be very proud of today, especially on this agenda, but not just on this agenda. Okay, 12 other items of business. A executive session as needed, and we do have.
We do. Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion that City Council go into executive session for discussion of the following matters: to discuss a personnel matter pursuant to CRS Section 24-6-402F1, and for a conference with Special Employment Counsel Bill Kelly for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions pursuant to CRS Section 24-6-4024B, all of which specifically relate to a personnel matter involving the city manager who has not requested the discussion of the matter in open session.
Second?
Motion by Dobry, second by Kiefhofer.
DeHaven,
Aye.
Kiefhofer,
Aye.
Spruill, Dobry,
Yes.
Rainey,
Aye.
Yazzie.
Aye. Okay, we will be going into executive session, but just a reminder that there is another public participation opportunity after we return. So thank you all. We'll see you in a bit. All right. The time is now 9:17 p.m., and the executive session has been concluded. The participants in the executive session were council members in person, myself, Mayor Pro Tem Arlene Yazzie, David Rainey, Lydia DeHaven, Matt Kiefhofer, Dennis Sproul, and Robert Dobry, and via Zoom, Mayor Rachel Medina, who is out of town at a conference. Also participating via Zoom were Special Employment Attorney Bill Kelly. At the commencement of the executive session, City Manager Drew Sanders and City Attorney Patrick Coleman were present, but they departed the executive session at 8:26 p.m. Before substantive personnel discussions began, and before the attorney-client privilege discussions began. For the record, if any person who participated in the executive session believes that any substantial discussions of any matters not included in the motion to go into the executive session occurred during the executive session, or that any improper action occurred during the executive session in violation of the open meetings law, I would ask that you state your concerns for the record. No adoption of any policy, position, resolution, rule, regulations, or other formal action occurred during the executive session. The next item on the agenda is public participation. Item number 13, public participation. Do we have any public? Okay. With that, item number 14 is adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Kiefhofer, second by Dobry.
Dobry,
Aye.
Rainey,
Aye.
Sproul,
Yes.
DeHaven,
Aye.
Kiefhofer,
Aye.
Yazzie.
Aye. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Have a good evening.